The surveys have shown that Mobile, Alabama is a real contender for one of the most desired places to live to. And I can't blame them. We have some great weather, we're on the water, and we're more affordable than 48 other states in the entire country. That being said, here are 10 things you need to know when moving to Mobile, Alabama. What's up? I'm Tony with Your Real Estate Fam, and my team and I are your #1 relocation team in all of Lower Alabama. If this is your first time visiting our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you tap that little bell to be notified of each and every video. We like to dive into everything there is about living in Mobile and the surrounding areas of Lower Alabama. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, make sure you give us a call, you shoot us a text, or send us an email. So let's get right to it. Here are 10 things you need to know about moving to Mobile, Alabama. Oh, and stick around, I bet you can't guess what #1 is gonna be about. Starting on top of the list at number 10, the direction your home faces really matters, especially if that home faces north. Reason being, for whatever hemispheric reason, let's say you have your home that faces north, you're going to get a much cooler home, and that'll help with reducing cooling costs when those temps really start to climb in the summer. And believe me, they will. We also like to mention that direct sun exposure can cause, over time of course, damage to siding and roofing and furniture, fabrics, and even your flooring. So if you have a lot of exposure on the south facing side of your home, it'll be most affected by sunlight. So it'd be wise to anticipate and budget for such home maintenance as repainting or residing. And it's also a good idea to protect the interior furnishings of south facing rooms by hanging UV blocking curtains or shades, or using UV repelling window film. My last house was almost all windows, and even though it was beautiful, what a pain in the ass in the summer here. I put window tint on every single window to try to beat the heat, but the advantage to this was I love the natural sunlight, and I absolutely hate having that enclosed feeling when all your windows are closed. So this was actually a huge bonus for me. And Jess likes to garden a little bit, so we put some satsuma trees where the sun faces all day, so it really worked out. Point being, you have to make the decision that's best for you. Number 9, there are a ton of sports out here in Mobile or Lower Alabama, but it's not professional sports. I'm talking about recreational sports and college. We have a beautiful stadium right here in Mobile at the University of South Alabama. And if you don't know, it's Roll Tide or War Eagle if it's not Go Jags, of course. And honestly, even if you're a student or a fan, you're still rooting for Alabama or Auburn because it's a different conference. So just know you have to pick one and you have to visit to truly get the real deal experience. Number 8 is seafood. Believe it or not, Mobile, Alabama has some of the best seafood in the entire country, and I love every bit of it. If you haven't been to a crawfish boil, you need to make sure it's on your list of many things to do while living here. I promise you'll thank me later. Or if you've never char grilled some oysters or tried royal red shrimp or swordfish or fresh cut smoked tuna dip, I'm telling you, you're missing out because it's so good. What I like about living here is that since it's all locally caught, you'll go to some great parties and birthdays where all of this is being made in the backyard while you're mingling with your friends, and you don't always have to go out and spend money because believe me, it adds up quick. So if that's something that's your forte, you're gonna love the different catches we have here in Lower Alabama. Now, speaking of all those great dishes, you're gonna need to work out more often than not, and I promise you it's gonna catch up. I'm speaking from experience here. So number 7 ties into the above, and being one of the most desirable places to live in, Lower Alabama as a whole is one of the fittest places I've ever lived in. Now, I need you to expand your brain a little bit on this one. It's not just about being shredded or going to the gym, because there are just as many unfit people around here as there are fit. But what I mean is there are so many different outdoor parks, recreation centers, trails, activities you can do year round, and water sports that require a lot of physical strength. So whether it's biking on trails, water skiing, kayaking, hitting the gym, going for a run, or just walking the beach, you guys want to make sure you're going outside and you're enjoying this Lower Alabama weather, because the sunny days, the hikes, the bikes, all that good stuff, it's here. We have a lot to offer, so make sure you take advantage of it. Join some social clubs, get to know people, because embracing the outdoors and the health and fitness side of this is part of that Southern culture. Number 6, the beaches. Whether it's winter, fall, spring, summer, Lower Alabama is a very year-round state as far as activities like I was just mentioning, but one thing I need to dive a little bit deeper on is the beaches. Whether you like to just kick back and put your toes in the sand, or if you're jumping in the water or building sandcastles, this is a place where you'll fall in love with our beaches. At Dauphin Island, you have a very relaxing environment where the beaches aren't crowded and you'll have a handful of options for food and drinks, but that's it. So if you're wanting something less touristy with some live music and a place to, say, grab a drink, then Pirates Bar and Grill is the place you definitely want to be. I love going there with my kids, but they'll tell you that they prefer Gulf Shores just because they'll run into other kids and they like to play volleyball on the beach, or they'll have a group that wants to play frisbee in the water. So it just depends, and like clockwork, I know they'll want to go to the hangout, so it just all depends on the mood that you're in. Now, number 5 is going to be the summers. Everyone always says how hot and humid it is down here, but if you look at it from a yearly perspective, you're really making out if the worst of it's only during July through September. It's not like Miami where you're just frying in hell all year. So if you can withstand a little heat for a few months, you should be just fine. Next thing you know, it'll be 6 degrees in December and you'll see just as many people wearing Crocs and shorts. Most likely me, that's what I'll be wearing. And then you'll have some people in jeans and Ugg boots, and I don't condone that, but you'll definitely see it. All right, now number 4, or 420 to all of our marijuana loving clients. Alabama has finally approved medical marijuana, and surprisingly, we've read a handful of comments about this and have talked to people wanting to move here, and they gave us their thoughts about this and why this makes Alabama a contender now. With us being in real estate, we never really received a lot of feedback on why weed should or shouldn't be legal until the past couple years. And I guess it's because so many other states are on board that it's just gotten to be a pretty serious topic. Just like how I mentioned, we love to go outdoors and do outdoor activities to live a healthy lifestyle. I can understand how this can be part of someone else's daily routine, you know, for medical purposes. Now, we don't have this passed for recreational use, but if we've already passed medical marijuana, I don't see recreational being that far behind. But I don't know, what are your thoughts? Did you think it was gonna pass for medical use in Alabama to begin with? Or do you think it'll pass for rec use in the near future? Why or why not? Let us know. Drop your comments down below. Number 3 is kind of a boring one. It's definitely important when it comes to the community. Believe it or not, Mobile, Alabama and the surrounding areas are dealing with some heavy traffic right now. It's not a big metro city by any means, but for what it is, the area is definitely growing. We're having to widen our roads, add roads, repair shitty roads. And if you haven't heard, there's talks of getting a new bridge, maybe even 2 of them, to get back and forth from one side of the bay to the other. So Mobile Bay has a few options to get from one side to the other, and there's been talks about this for decades, about a new bridge coming to town. But recently, it's looking a lot more promising. A comprehensive plan with a new Mobile River Bridge and a new bayway supposedly meets capacity and safety needs and can be built in 5 years. Now, if you ask the locals, they may say that they've been saying this forever, or I'll personally tell you that I think the proposed toll option is BS. And then you have some people who like the idea of tolls because it'll reduce traffic, which I don't think it will. Like I said, you'll probably see me on alternate routes like the Wallace and Bankhead Tunnel or the Africatown Bridge or the Causeway. Now, I know I said this was boring, but it's kind of getting my blood pressure going a little bit. Especially because Mississippi just received a lot of funding from the Department of Transportation, so it's likely that the tolls are going to stay in place. On to number 2, Mobile, Alabama is located in a pretty damn good location. We don't get smacked with hurricanes like our neighbors do. I mean, we're in the line of fire, but we're not the ones you hear about often. You have a fair amount of places to visit close by like Biloxi, New Orleans, Pensacola, Huntsville, Atlanta, Even Mickey Mouse's house isn't that far compared to a lot of other places throughout the country. Personally, for me, this is great because I want to raise my family in a great area with a low cost of living. But if we want to hit up the World War II Museum in New Orleans or check out an Alabama versus Auburn game, we're only a few short hours away, and then we're back in sweet home Mobile, Alabama. It's honestly the best of both worlds. Small town living with big city living just over yonder. And for all of our future clients, over yonder means just over there around the corner. Now, number one, numero uno, Mobile housing is super affordable and cost of living is unbelievable. Imagine paying under $1,000 on property taxes on average and having the second lowest cost of living in the entire country. Well, that's what you get right here in Mobile, Alabama. Homes sell around $210,000 on average throughout all of Mobile, and you can find some really good deals here with in-ground pools, screened-in patios, historic homes, or brand new builds. The options are damn near limitless, and you get to take advantage of everything I just mentioned above. And there you have it, the 10 things you need to know before moving to Mobile. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and if it brought you some value and you'd like to know more about Mobile, definitely hit that subscribe button. Let us know if there's anything else that you guys need from us. That phone number that keeps popping up in these videos, Jess and I are the ones answering those phone calls and those text messages and those emails. So please reach out directly because we would love to help y'all. And we'll see you on the next video.